sources, what we are learning, we'll stay away from speculations and stay put when we speak of authorities giving us the confirmation. But in other angles, as the investigation has been picking pace, Delhi police has been conducting overnight search operations in hotels in Paharganj, in Daryaganj and surrounding areas as well. Now, this is another angle that we are looking at the possibility, because for now, the entire national capital that has been fortified as far as the entry and the exit points are concerned. And this information that has now been shared by Priyank, and we'll take an expert point of view as well from Major General A.K. Sewach, who's also connected with us, and so is Tushar Gupta. But Priyank, the angles there, what we are getting to know, because overnight there would have been a lot of activity within the security officials as well to actually make sure that as far as the accused or other accomplices in the case are concerned, do not manage to run away.
See, Amita, so far as my sources are concerned, this appears to be a desperate act by the Jaish-e-Mohammed because of the kind of searches which was being carried out in multi-location raid by the Jammu and Kashmir police and the Haryana police, which led to hundreds of, quantity of explosive which was recovered by them. 8 individuals were arrested, and this 9th person was certainly looking for the possibility to carry out further attack. What we have also got to know that this particular left from Faridabad and it crossed Badarpur border and it reached to the parking area here at Lal Killa, where the vehicle got parked around 3:19 and around 6:48 the vehicle came out, and around 6:55 the blast happened. But one more thing is quite clear, that the pattern of Jaish-e-Mohammed can also be seen in the 3-month time interval period, because after Pahalgam attack, then the terrorists wanted to carry out another attack. When Operation Mahadev happened, they were coming down from the hill, and it was very difficult for the security forces to hunt them down till the time they could have changed the location. There they made a mistake. They took the time period of 3 months, and they were coming down, and then this Operation Mahadev happened. And exactly 6 months after that, which means 3 plus 3 plus 3. I
think what all has been happening since April onwards, that we're looking at all of these terror-related activities, all of the searches, all of the raids that have been conducted, all of those individual and terrorists that have been neutralized, seem to have made this desperate attempt on part of Jaish-e-Mohammed to carry out this act in haste. Major General A.K. Sewach, sir, because those words still ring and it is fresh in our memories, when it was said that any misadventure automatically would be considered as an act of war, sir.
Well, absolutely. You see, any terror action will be considered an act of war. So there is no denying the fact, if it is proved beyond doubt it was a terror act, then the response will be given, a very suitable response, and a timely response will be given. As far as no one is claiming that any terrorist group was involved, that's a very normal tactics of Jaish-e-Mohammed and other terrorist groups, because after Pahalgam, the TRF has initially claimed, and then thereafter they withdrew it. The reason is simple, because they know it, that if their name comes into light, they will be the one which will be punished. Because in Operation Sindoor, if you've seen it, that the first time when we have gone on night 6-7, we went after the terror infrastructure. We have destroyed completely the headquarters of Lashkar-e-Toba, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Hizbul Mujahideen, whether it was at Bahawalpur, Mudirka and Muzaffarabad. And we killed about 150 terrorists. And you remember, Masood Azhar family was completely wiped off. So there is no denying the fact that as far as the terrorists are concerned in Pakistan, they will not like their name to be now sort of propped up. But there are 2-3 issues which are there as far as this blast is concerned. Yes. You know, these are contradicting. What happened is that on ground, when you see there are no splinters, there is no wire, there is no chemical, it gives the indication that possibly it may not be a terror angle. But at the same time, as the circumstantial evidence, which is proving in last about 7 days, if you see, it gives the indication that yes, it is basically a possibly a terror action because this white collar terror ecosystem which has been busted in last 48 hours, that is where it is pointing out. Dr. Omar is at large. Is it connected with this? So therefore, that is why...
Sivat sir, you have exactly talked about as far as when it comes to that Dr. Omar who is said to be a suspect and on the run, sir, because we are going to get you this massive breaking update. We're going to put out exactly what we know of this suspect. Let's, through sources, what we are learning, let's carry out this image, this picture that is now being said of this suspect who has been identified as Dr. Omar. This is how he looks like. And this is this exclusive picture that Times Now has access. There on your screens, this is when it comes to this mega scoop that we are picking up. Dr. Omar's picture is with Times Now. He is said to be the same individual when the Faridabad anti-terror crackdown that was being carried out. He managed, however, to flee. Now, as far as when it comes to the investigation is concerned, it would be pertinent to note that if he is said to be the same man who was behind the wheels, as far as the suspect, the individual that has also been caught on CCTV footages while the car was making its way out, of course, this is part of the ongoing investigation, but Bhavtosh, this is big. Dr. Omar, the man who fled, he is said to be a terror suspect, and for the first time, it is any news channel, we're looking at Times Now, which has been the first to access his picture on screen.
Yes, Amita, in fact, these pictures have been shared by security agencies with various state police. They are trying to ascertain whether the person who has died in the car with the explosive matches with the photographs that they have got. Remember yesterday and day before yesterday, there were massive searches that were carried out by the J&K counterintelligence police and also the Srinagar police across Faridabad, and these searches lasted for over 48 hours, which resulted in over 2,900 kgs of explosives. But one person who managed to escape from those searches is the visuals of the person that we are putting out. That is Dr. Omar, and he was said to be the mastermind or is the mastermind of the Jaish module that was trying to carry out a terror attack. Now, it is being said that the car blast that happened yesterday outside the Red Fort is carried out by the Jaish module. That's what we have gathered. Whether the person who carried out the blast died in the car or whether he escaped is something that is being investigated by the agency. But we are putting out the picture of Dr. Omar. Dr. Omar is the person who was is considered to be the mastermind. This is turning out to be a terror module in which there are several doctors involved. At least 4 to 5 have been identified. Dr. Adil was the first to be arrested. He was a doctor at the Government Medical College in Srinagar. The second to be arrested was Dr. Muzammil, and the third one is Dr. Omar. He was the mastermind, and another woman doctor was also arrested. So 4 doctors have been arrested as far as the security agency is concerned. But unfortunately, a terror attack has happened in the heart of the city.
All right, but this could have been big as far as when it comes to the intensity of the blast is concerned, because we've been speaking to the eyewitnesses on ground there, and they have been saying that it didn't sound like any CNG blast or a cylinder blast as it was earlier being reported. It was massive. It was massive. And owing to the nature of the blast that is still being ascertained and what exactly may have been used for this explosion, of course, this is part of the ongoing investigation. But as Bhavtosh said, being touted as the alleged master behind yesterday's blast, this explosion that happened near the Red Fort, is said to be the same individual who is currently on the run, being identified as Dr. Omar. And his exclusive picture has now been accessed on Times Now. Now put that as far as the sequence of events is concerned so that it makes sense exactly when it comes to this pile of information that has been coming in, so that we put it across in order. What is the linkages that are now being drawn to the Faridabad terror module? And let's talk about when it comes to the amount of explosives that was recovered. What is now being said? At least 360 kgs of these explosives. It is suspected to be, however, ammonium nitrate. Now, this is not just that. We are looking at nearly warlike ammunition that has also been recovered. That includes 1 one assault rifle, 3 magazines, and at least 83 live rounds as well. Also, when we talk of this huge cache of arms and ammunition, that also includes 1 pistol, 8 live rounds, 2 empty cartridges, 2 magazines. What is also being said amongst those recoveries are 8 large suitcases and 4 small suitcases. There are 20 timers with batteries, 24 remotes that has been also recovered, and 5 kgs of heavy metals. Also, when we talk of the equipments that have now been recovered, this is through graphic representation that we are trying to tell you exactly what the recoveries look like. There have been walkie-talkies as well that have been seized that could actually set electric wiring as well. So this is when we are taking a look at the seizures that have now been taking place. As far as when it comes to all of this, could it be a part of yesterday's explosion as well that may have been used? Well, that is part of the ongoing investigation. But another angle that we are getting for our viewers, what we are learning through Delhi Police's special cell, that the lens is completely now on Faridabad terror module, as the suspect, Dr. Omar, was said to be in that I-20 car. The DNA test is exactly the one that will confirm the identity of the deceased, and the police will uncover crucial leads in the blast probe. Was actually Dr. Omar Muhammad in that I-20 car? Well, that is something that is needed to be matched as far as the main suspect in the case is concerned, who is also said to be the alleged mastermind. So the Delhi Police Special Cell, meanwhile, has recovered special crucial leads where there were explosives that were planted in the car, which actually led to this explosion, and the agency suspect, Priyank, that it could be a possibility of a Fedayeen attack that is also not being ruled out. So was it Dr. Omar Muhammad in that car? Did he not manage to escape, or this was a deliberate attempt as a Fedayeen attack that is also not now being ruled out?
Yes, certainly, Amitabh. Multiple things are being taken into consideration because yesterday major tragedy was also averted and casualty was also averted because the Red Fort was closed, and these terrorists were not aware about the fact that on Monday the Red Fort could be closed. So what could have been the possible reason because of which the suspect came to the parking area towards the Red Fort side, and then he waited for 3 long hours before he could actually carry out this particular blast? Is certainly something which is known for the agencies. On the other side, we have seen that on the top of this Jain temple, there have been remains of the body which has been also found by the FSL team because of the impact of the blast. The bodies flew, parts of the body flung in the air, and it reached on the top of this particular area. So everything, if you piece together, it is clearly showing that the terrorists was not aware that on Monday the Red Fort would be closed, and while attempting their desperate act, they moved towards Red Fort to carry out an ID blast where they managed to see that they could have been arrested by the agency officials. That's why this particular blast was carried out. At this location, the official team is still camping there, but what agencies have been suggesting that there could be more and more raids today so that the sleeper module, which had been assisting these suspects who have been arrested by the Jammu and Kashmir police to be arrested from Faridabad, because this kind of huge amount of ammunition cannot be recovered and that not be assembled at one location without help of more individuals, for which I'm getting to know that
because the entire area that has been cordoned off, and rightly so, by the FSL team and the specialized team to avoid any contamination. But Tushar, what has been your reading so far? Because questions that are now being raised, but we also need to give the credit where it is due. For the last so many months, the proactiveness on part of our security agencies that have managed to identify such kind of sleeper cells. We're looking at multiple of these terrorists that have also been eliminated, and multiple raids and searches that have been taking place. Credit needs to be given where it is due.
And Amita, this is the part that we only know. We don't really know what kind of attacks have been thwarted, what kind of white-collar sleeper cells have been, sort of tackled, what kind of attacks were being planned. There is a lot of information from the security agencies that we'll never know, and that is the problem. The bad guys have to get it right just once. The good guys have to get it right every single day, every single hour. A lot of apprehension yesterday was because of the module that was busted in the day. The kind of ammunition that was found, you've been just putting that out on the screen. You were explaining it also. You go back to 2008, the Mumbai terror attack, and it reminds you of that. Was something like that being planned in the national capital? We know there's a lot of stuff being going on in Pakistan as well. We saw how Operation Sindoor really unfolded in the months of May and June. So there's a lot of questions, a lot of dots to be connected here. But the main thing is this could have been far worse. This could have been far bigger.
Correct.
We don't know what the terrorists were really planning. The FIR has been registered in the section 16 and 18 of the UAPA. So that also tells the story. But I think today, the forensic investigation must have concluded by now, or it will be in the concluding stages. We'll know the kind of the residues that have been found on the blast site. We'll know the kind of debris that have been formed. If it indeed was a CNG or LPG blast, you'll also have some organics, volatile matter that would be found on the spot. So all that we'll know later in the day.
Yes.
But for now, I think we have to, you're very right in saying that we have to create the security agencies because they have a thankless job
absolutely,
to do.
because this is all part of the bigger investigation. And ever since this blast that has been reported, we know that the kind of alertness that are security agencies that have been working non-stop and round the clock. But as far as the information that suggests on part of the security officials, let's put that in focus as well, as Priyank is getting us this information through sources. Over 200 policemen have been deployed rather to just examine the CCTV footage, and the lens is now on the Badarpur border to Red Fort route as far as the CCTV footages that are now being examined. Imagine the volume of the CCTV and hours of CCTV that needs to be examined. And at least what is now being said, Priyank, what are you getting the details of at least 13 individuals that are said to be under scanner, and detailed analysis of this very same CCTV footages that would be for several hours, and exactly tracking the movement of the car from where it began to where it ended to how long was it there in the parking lot to that very moment that it moved out of it. Every single aspect, every single second is now being looked into. We'll get you more of that exclusive angles now lined up. Exactly when we take a look in a short while from now, we're looking at this big high-level meeting that will be chaired by the Union Home Minister. That will also be taking place. So keeping an eye out on all the developments back after a short break.